Alright, welcome to a Jordan Garber Now news update. I am, well, you know who I am, and I am delivering wrestling news, show news, and much more here during this, 10 to 15 minute news update. We'll go on here for a while. Once again, guys, please be interactive. Basically, these news updates, they first start on Facebook, and then they get uploaded to YouTube. So if you tune in on the Facebook stream, be sure to check out some of the old news updates back on YouTube. And we appreciate any and all support. To kick things off, Ring of Honor Final Battle announces a big match that is none other than EC3, former WWE star, against none other than Jay Briscoe at Ring of Honor Final Battle. That is the first match announced. I think this might be the pay-per-view of the year because I feel like this card is going to be stacked. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I look forward to every match on that pay-per-view as well. The Slammy Awards are returning this month. You know, all the memories that we saw with the Slammy Awards, especially like in the late 90s. Like I remember, I forget what year, but Shawn Michaels, when he won a Slammy, it was in 99 or something like that. But man, it was so classic. Goes back a long, long time. I look forward to seeing the Slammies return. And at Final Resolution, it has also been announced that Rich Swann will be defending his Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Now, let's go into that a little bit quickly here. Rich Swann had a great career in WWE. In my opinion, I felt like he should have stayed in WWE, but I was wrong. He went to Impact Wrestling, and what did he do in Impact Wrestling? Make a huge name for himself. And before he went to Impact Wrestling, he had a lot of personal goings to deal with, a lot of shit going on, a lot of stuff to go through. Rich Swann has divided and conquered and has every single reason to have that belt. He has worked for it. So I have to say right now in 2020, Rich Swann is one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. And no matter what anyone says, I think he makes a great Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. But, you know, let me know your opinion. Send some comments, and I see 4 or 5 people tuning into the Facebook stream. Feel free to send along some questions, some feedback, good or bad. I appreciate any and all of it. However, Vince McMahon is approving 4 matches for WWE TLC, and those matches, as of follows, are announced. It's going to be Roman Reigns, Universal Champion, versus Kevin Owens. The Women's Tag Team Champion, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax versus Raw Women's Champion, Asuka and Lana. Now, I feel that I don't like the whole WWE Raw Women's Tag Team Champions, Asuka and Lana, and I'll tell you why. Asuka was a huge star in Japan. You know, it's just 2 different styles. The styles are very weird. Lana is more of like obviously they're all performers, but she's more of a show person. She doesn't have a lot of in-ring wrestling ability. She's basically eye candy for the crowd. And when you have a tag team with a pure women's Japanese wrestler, I just don't see it mixing. I really hope that Baszler and Jax defeat them, because I don't really see a big future for that tag team, but that's my opinion. You know, I haven't been in the WWE, so what could I say? But I'm just saying, Asuka and Lana, they should have... I miss Asuka and Kairi Sane, but unfortunately, she had that career-threatening injury. But, hey, you never know. Asuka could definitely teach Lana a lot as well, and she could learn a lot of in-ring skills, too. So, that could be another huge advantage. So, what I'm doing with my interviews here before I go on to the next matches is I'm going to bring you guys one big wrestling name per month. That's absolutely guaranteed. I'll give you a main show every single Friday on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and a news update at least 3 times a week. So the main podcast will be available on those other sources, and then all the archives of the podcasts will be up on YouTube, and all of the news updates will be on YouTube. The most viewed news update on Facebook and YouTube will be on the main show Friday for the podcast, so I will put that in there. To preview Friday's podcast, Will All Day is our main event interview, reality of wrestling star, as well. Mark the Shark DiCarlo and Hotshot Danny Duggan, all lined up for this Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Pretty boy Doug Masters calls in and tunes in, and he says, "Hello, brother," and I say hello back, I guess. How you doing, my man? Why don't you share some stories there? You know, Doug Masters was on the show, and I'm actually trying to get down to Puerto Rico to ref some matches, and I've been in touch with Doug Masters about that. And why I want to referee in Puerto Rico is because, you know, there's so many legends that went through it. Don Callis went to Puerto Rico. Chris Jericho went to Puerto Rico. Most stars in Japan went to Puerto Rico. So to go to Puerto Rico and the referee and deal with those rough crowds at those legendary baseball stadiums, I really want to do it, man. And Doug Masters, he has a great podcast running. He delivers a solid product every single show, in my personal opinion. And Doug, you can comment that on the comments, and I'll feel free to bring that on the show. Anyways, though, I'm going to give this away. Anyone that claim... Sorry. I can't get this down. Anyone to claim this, I'm going to give them a free hat. Free hat right here, Fargo Moorhead Redhawks hat. I will ship it for free. I will send a trading card and some extra goodies. Just say claim or say hat or say something if you want it. It is yours. I got this actually from Craig, who's an amazing viewer. He's got me 3 hats, and I like all like 2 of the 3. And this hat, I think this would be good for to give away, especially with the Jordan Garber Now trading card or something. Like, we already gave away an action figure, and just let me know. I can give away more wrestling trading cards. I can give away autographed posters, memorabilia, things along those lines. And no problem, Doug. Thank you for everything you have given to the professional wrestling industry. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Friday show, and I believe we're going to get a shop site set up as well. So not only are we going to do giveaways, but we're going to have a merchandise page where you guys can check us out and buy some t-shirts, 8x10 photos, cards, all of those things. Not just from our show, but other wrestling podcasts as well that want to be a vendor. Oh, I just got a bunch of comments at once here. Ryan says, sanitize the hat. Jordan Garber Q&A. And Doug Masters says, you're doing a good job, brother. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can do a Q&A there for a few minutes. If anyone's comments some questions, I'll feel free to have some answers. I pretty much touched up everything on wrestling news anyways. Wait, I actually want to talk about COVID. Can you give away your used underwear, Craig asks. I said, I believe I cannot do that. I cannot give away my used underwear, but what I can give away is love. I can give away support, and I can give away hats. I can come bearing gifts at least 3 times a week here on the updates. So, does anyone else have any questions here before we pretty much wrap things up? Not wrap things up, but talk about some final comments and then wrap things up and get to some things I have to get to. I'll do that. If anyone has anything, let me know. But in the meantime, Bill Alfonso is going to be December's big name on the Jordan Garber Now podcast. And he is allowing you to be a part of the show. So anybody watching can be on the Jordan Garber Now podcast with one of the best referees of all time. And an 8x10 photo is $20. If you just want to get the 8x10, I do give you a free shout out, obviously. And we'll probably work something out to get you on a future episode. The $30 package includes 5 minutes with Bill Alfonso on the Jordan Garber Now podcast and an autographed 8x10 photo. The $35 package guarantees 10 minutes and an 8x10, and the $40 package is the 10. If you do the $40, I'll probably give you as much time as you want with the man himself. So, everybody's fan questions with Bill Alfonso and airtime will actually onto an official Jordan Garber Now episode, which is something that is really, really exciting. So you can be a part of the show, and it's posted on many platforms, so it's there forever. So get your autographed Bill Alfonso photo, and we'll set things up. Will you get in the ring Friday night for CWE? Me and Danny did the official preview. I thought we got a good turnout on that. I really enjoy doing that. The two promotions I enjoy doing stuff with is the Northern Wrestling Federation and Canadian Wrestling's Elite. And I'm glad I'm able to do those previews and be a part of the Future Stars division of the Northern Wrestling Federation. Any upcoming shows, CWE Live online stream this Friday. Check out the official preview, like I was saying, on the Jordan Garber Now YouTube page. Check out some of those old videos. Our page needs a little bit of love, so help us out. Check out some of our archives. And, of course, continue to listen to the podcast. And Pretty Boy Doug Masters, when he was on, we actually had a really good listenership in Puerto Rico. Comes to show, Doug, that they still remember you and they still love you, my man. So I like how it's interesting how I'm getting a listenership from a wide version of different countries. And why is because there's so many different cultures that combine into listening into this episode, which creates new ideas, which really makes me enjoy what I do. The fans want to see Jordan Garber versus AJ Sanchez. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want to get crushed by the Canadian Crusher. What does it mean to be at the top? I don't know, man. Aren't you? Oh, you're at the top. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know, man. I haven't reached the top yet, so I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be at the top, unless you're referring to wrestling news headlines on Dirt Sheets. But that will happen when I interview Johnny Devine as well, who will be on the show. I actually forgot to mention that. He was in TNA. The fans want a Jordan Garber-Wayne Stanton match. Okay, I'll get into this quickly with Wayne Stanton. I love the guy. It's just one story I have with Wayne. It's one of my first ever wrestling stories of disappointment and bitterness. 2008, Steeltown Pro Wrestling, Selkirk, Manitoba, at the Selkirk Memorial Hall, which is somehow a wrestling venue and a soup kitchen at the same time. Quite classy. And they had a show there. And they did the SPW Internet TV, which, honestly, these episodes were, they're alright, I guess, but they were just 10 minutes, and, the camera guys, they were just guys doing it for fun, no professionals or anything. It would just, be me doing it, for instance. And I was trying to get a start. So, I go to Wayne Stanton at the show, and I have myself an official audio IV recorder. I think I'm, 14 years old at the time, 15 years old at the time. And I say, hey, Wayne, can I, and he promised me last show I could be a part of the announce booth and announce a match for Internet TV. Being a 14, 15-year-old kid, I'm excited that I'm getting my break on independent wrestling television. And he made me do it in the stands. I couldn't believe it. So from there on, I sat in the stands and I announced the matches until I was 16, and I took a break from the business for 2 or 3 years. But ever since then, I just had a bitter taste in my mouth about him. I don't hate him. I just have a bitter taste in my mouth about him. It's like eating an avocado. Can we get a Jordan Garber Christmas Carol sing-along? Sure. You guys want to sing along? I gotta sing along. Dashing through the snow, taking a shot on an open sleigh, yay, yay, yay. Silent Night. Alright. Thanks for that, Craig. Enjoy the holidays too, guys. Just don't get the family drunk. Who's the biggest jerk you tried to interview? That's gonna go to this morning. Bushwhacker, not Bushwhacker Luke, but his agent. Very big argument. Very nasty argument this morning with Bushwhacker Luke's agent. I'm not gonna get into things, but it was bad. And you know what? It's my fault. The guy is 25 years in the in the business, apparently as an agent, and it's my fault because I'm using booking agents again when I have one source that I already have to use for interviews, who's an actual wrestler, so I don't know why I'm using these agents, but it's, that's my own fault. Is there a future for a collaborative podcast with any wrestlers like the Snake Pit or even a return to the Snake Pit full time? I really appreciate you were really wanting to see the return of that. And I like you asking that question a lot. From a CWE standpoint, I don't see that happening. From a Jordan Garber Now standpoint, I could see that being a segment, most definitely. You could see that be a full-time return, possibly, but it wouldn't be in the CWE form. Dream interview. Magnum TA, who's one of my favorite 80s wrestlers. Jeff Hardy, and we got 80s, 90s, 2000s. Who's 2000s? Who could we use for two? Well, Ric Flair wrestled in the 2000s. I guess that's a dream interview. And then, last but certainly not least, you know what? Because of the Northern Wrestling Federation, I'd like to interview Jon Moxley. I feel like that would be a really good interview. That would definitely be a really, really good interview. Speaking of interviews, my worst ever interview was John Cena Sr. I had the honor to interview that, but, I had the honor to interview John Cena Sr., but it wasn't right, man. It wasn't. It was the worst interview I could have possibly done because the audio was out, and it was 7 years ago, actually, almost to this date. And we actually, no, I don't look like a mess, Dre. Shout out to Dre, by the way. I don't look like, you know what? I kind of do, hair everywhere. It's crazy. Tough times. What can you do? Trust me, I might have pride in my podcast, but maybe not on myself as much. From time to time at least, it seems like that. But no, I'm not really a mess. I'm just having a few shots, hanging out with the world. But I'm going to give a shout out to Dre. Dre's actually been absolutely amazing because Dre has been helping me out with a lot of things personally. Whether that's with groceries, or coffees, or money, or anything. I've been getting a lot of help. I want to thank Dre for that. He deserves a thank you, because without him, I would be losing a lot of motivation. Dre is a really good guy. When is Jordan Garber going to wrestle Dre? Jake asks. I don't know. Probably when we both drink too much Captain Morgan. When are we going to see Jordan Garber wrestle Jake? I don't know. I don't think I'd win that. Or Ryan. Where? That is a good comment. Next comment on here asks, where is Zeus the dog? It's not my dog. I love the dog, though. That's a funny comment. You know, when I moved in here, I was always a big fan of big dogs. Never liked small dogs. But when I met Zeus, I have to admit, it was probably my favorite little dog I've ever met. It's adorable. It's a sweetheart. Jordan Garber wrestles Jake and Ryan every time he drinks. Jake says that's true, somewhat. Craig asks, can you discuss the infamous Red River X story? Dre asks, I'm going to answer that question, Craig. Dre asks, I did try, he just cured up into a ball, lol. And when is Jordan... And then Jake asks, next question. When is Jordan Garber going to clean the toilet? Don't even go there. Anyways, Dre said, Craig asks here, can you discuss the infamous Red River X story? What happened is I went to the X. So it was I don't know, I was 17. I think I was 17. Yeah, I was pretty young. I was 17 years old. And I was hanging out with my buddies, and like there's some T3s and everything that we all had, and we were just hanging out at the X, like just enjoying that, smoking some joints, and then I think we drank Jack, and it was it was a good time. So combination goes into all of those three, and I go inside and I just feel so happy. Like everything just makes me like so happy and euphoric. Like like imagine me talking right now, but like times three. So I took a bunch of T3s, and then I just went on rides, and like my eyes were so big and wide the whole time. Like it was like the fucking best time of my life. I didn't go on that Mach 5 though. Can you imagine smoking a joint and going on the Mach 5 at the X, if anyone remembers that ride? Holy shit. But yeah, that's what happened. But what else? Anyone else have anything here? We're actually going over schedule here. I'm just checking here if anyone has any feedback from across the interwebs. Nothing from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Looks like our wrestling news is pretty much good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some new merchandise in. We're going to give away some more stuff. Just let me know. Whoever wants the hat, be sure to let me know. I'll send it to you. Free shipping. Dre already won the scarf. So who's going to win the hat? Who's going to win a trading card? Each and every news update and show, I'm going to try to give you guys a chance to win. Do the best I can. And what else? Every single Friday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Jordan Garber Now News Update on Facebook Live, uploaded on YouTube an hour after, 3 times a week. I think that's going to do it here for our Jordan Garber Now news update for myself. One more swig before the stream ends. Sure, why not? One more swig for the news update, guys. Have a good night. And Dre, you're getting that scarf next time I see you. Or I'll mail it.